And so anybody could say anything, and it doesn't
Right.
mean that
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
trying to pull one over on you, but people tend to act in their own self-interest. And I couldn't imagine someone saying, I think we could have some fun and even be boyfriend, girlfriend, but the odds that I'm going to want to step things up and form a blended family anytime soon are so minuscule. Don't waste your time. Hey, this is Evan Marc Katz, dating coach for smart, strong, successful women, your personal trainer for love. Welcome back to Love Splaining. Today, we've got a great conversation with someone that I know has been in my free Facebook group for many years and gives lots of really good advice herself. So I'm excited to learn more about her. If you are watching for free and you want to hear my answer to the question, you have to subscribe. Click on the button below to get the full answer. Otherwise, you're just going to get the question. At the end of today's conversation, I'll tell you about Love U, how you could apply, how you could find a relationship that makes you feel safe, heard, and understood. Well, let's get to it. Today, I'm talking to Alexandra. Came this close to naming my daughter Alexandra. It turns out it's her middle name, but
Wow.
that's how much I like the name. Um, and Alexandra, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, where you live, what you do, how old you are, what brought you here?
Sure. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm 42, and I'm an attorney. I'm self-employed, and I've been for 15 years now.
Wow.
And originally I'm from Quebec, Canada, but I've lived here for a long time. Spent half my life in Florida, so I consider myself a Floridian.
Have you been married before? Have kids?
I have. I've been married once. I'm divorced, and I have two children who are 6 and 4. So, and I'm co-parenting with their father. Have the kids 50-50. So, and I've been divorced now, or separated for about 3 years. So,
Okay.
divorced for 2. So, yeah.
All right. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the question, but I wanted to get that background in because I
Okay.
vaguely remember from Facebook that you were a single mom. So I wasn't sure if that was
Yes.
relevant.
Yes, it is. Yep. It is relevant to my question. So,
Okay. I'll fire away.
okay. So, I've been dating online now after my divorce for about 6 months, maybe close to 6 months. I'm on Match and only Match, and I I I guess sometimes I have difficulty navigating the dating process after a divorce and having children, and already making the time to date 30 minutes a day, like you suggest. So even that is a challenge sometimes.
Sure.
And I guess my experience with what I found on Match, at least, or online in general, is that the vast majority of men my age, or I would say middle-aged men, 45, even 50, or around that age, are are never married with no kids. So that's always been. I'm surprised about that. Actually, I would have expected that more of them would have children by now. But it's been my experience that if I screen the men only for let's say divorced fathers, then I I'm left with about 20% of them. So
Huh.
yeah.
That so I guess what is your question? You're making an observation. I
Okay,
hear you.
that's an observation. So my question is, and it's been my question for a while now, is uh, my hunch, and I don't know if it's and I don't know if it's a limiting belief that I have, but I'm hoping that it's not. But I um, I would prefer to date men that are divorced with children like me. I just think it's the rapport is easier. We get each other more, and I think you have two children yourself. If you were dating today, it would just be I find that and also the other thing, the other challenge that I have with regard to that is that um, most the men that are divorced with kids that I find online, they have children who are older than mine, because mine are still very young. They're 6 and 4, and most of them have children that are teenagers or sometimes going away to college. So, and I don't know if this is a good match for me. I tend to say, I mean, I can give them a chance, but I just think we're not at the same stage in life. So, but then again, if I eliminate all of them, or all the no kids, the childless men, and I only choose the men that have children close to my children's ages, I'm going to be left with almost nobody online, at least. So,
Okay.
So having made that observation, I don't know. Some people tell me that it's going to be easier when my kids are older to find men that are in the same boat that I am. So what do you say about that? Should I be as open as possible and screen in even the ones that don't have children, or regardless of their family situation, and go from there and individually give them a chance? Or what do you think? What do you say about that?
I have thoughts. And of course, whatever we talk about here today doesn't change the reality of your situation. I don't get to
Right.
dictate the population of Fort Lauderdale or Match.com or anything like that. So whatever we do is not going to change the population. It's what are you going to do in these circumstances, despite what you're observing. So I'm struck, and I want to be very careful. I'm struck by your observation that 80% of men are never married and childless, when statistics give almost an opposite. I hate to be a tease, but the full episode is for paid Substack subscribers only. So if you want to hear my full answer to all my reader questions, go to www.evanmarkatz.com/Substack to become a paid subscriber. In addition to that, paid subscribers receive the ability to ask me questions and get coaching on my podcast, an advice column in which I answer your questions, a podcast in which I offer you live dating coaching, the ability to comment on all posts and join the dialogue in the Lovesplaining community, and exclusive content that is unavailable to the general public. Just go to www.evanmarkatz.com/Substack to join for free and upgrade for all the bonus content. Thanks, and I look forward to seeing you in the Lovesplaining community.